Hello there today or morning, yes you are morning for now. Now today we'll be reviewing the Warriors of the Borderline. Wait, what? Yep, Shino. Now this is a not part of the main model kits, but the side thing of one of the pilots, which I kind of like actually because it does break away from like just robots and vehicles to a person. And I did buy this for $47. A little pricey, I would say. And there is other places for cheaper, for like $20. In reality, I think you should buy that for that pricing, but I did have to buy it time, and I thought I thought it was cool, and I bought it up, and I didn't have the money for it time, but I didn't. But I did when I had it. But the original pricing that I did see for this was like $20 or something, or something. But you know what? It got the best fuzz, and as to right now, I have the video I'm working on for this one, uploading on my Google. Anyways, let's take a close look at Shino, and let's see if it's worth your pricing. Now, Shin Shino right here is, I will say I did break one part I do need to fix on my particular model. Yeah, it's outside that. Side of here. It's easy fix in reality. I just need to do it. So cautious with this figure. I will say, you do get a lot of accessories. So, Shino here, it has one problem. The articulation is not the best. Even though it may look good right now, but the articulation is not that good because the torso right here is pretty bad because you can't get much range within kicking. Like more movement forward. But there's some movement within the top part of the chest. But doesn't help the case for me. But accessorized, we have a neutral face, a side-looking face that is a bit upset, and a shocked-looking face, which I don't blame. So I will say they use stickers, a lot of stickers actually. So stickers for the eyes, eyebrows, and mouth, and that's for all of them. I decided to paint the eyebrows for all the heads, so it's easier for me to deal with. Well, actually, the main face right here doesn't need that. It's the other two that really needs it. To change them out, you just gotta pull the hair right here, and just change it out. So yeah, and you can see the points of the head. It is just the bottling within right there, the stock head, and then it pulls up that much. And there's not much articulation here either, which is the problem with this figure. I like how it looks, but the articulation is very lackluster. And I do like articulation in my model kits, just as much people would think I do. But I think I like the neutral face as much. And cautious when you gotta pull these hair out. If not, you're gonna snap it like I did to mine. So I'm gonna fix that maybe later on. Articulation wise, not much look up head movement. Pretty much a good head down when we go down. More than a 90-degree bend at the arm. And a angle that goes that high up due to the articulation at the arm. The legs, like I said, you can't get that high, but Not so much either when you got a kickback. I don't like this as much. But yeah, she hasn't. But yeah, she can do a double knee joint. And there is a toe bend that is not that much. And a pivot, well, just a ball at the foot. And it does have a good range, actually. Yeah, I like how it looks. Don't get me wrong, I like how it looks. And but you do get your hands, fist hands. You just gotta go in here, twist it, and pop it out in the stand. So this is the regular stand you do get with other model kits that Bandai has released. Them. I'm trying to make your stand while I do this. This makes this one harder, actually. There you go. And it's a regular stand that you have seen with other model kits, pretty much in particular. This is the BAO0 or 0. It isn't one that you could just do that, collapse, take apart, which I have done this so many times for this one. This has this place. This is right in here. Well, the two will fold into this. Fuck. Sometimes it has to get placing, sometimes it doesn't. It has the problems. And this thing just goes wherever it needs to. So, yeah, just where it goes. And it's just a basic scene that they just put in with some of these model kits. So you will have a lot of these by the end of your collection. Oh, frick. It does have a lot of joints though, but they are stiff for a reason. But the problem is the fact that you need to mess around with it to get that point. But so it's how much you already need to fiddle with it to get that point. And there we go. It deploys them right there. Now, I will say the only problems I do have with this, other than the cell phone, is the fact that if you mess with the arms too much, the ball right here will go back in and need to take off the lab coat and pull it off, which is a problem with it. I like how it looks, but if you mess with it too much, it has a problem of collapsing back in, and then it wiggles too much. But it looks so freaking good. And it's like one more accessory. This little thing right here. It's like a digital creature thing, and I did paint the things on. Yeah, I actually painted the lightning bolt thing on the arm, things right here. I did paint it. Size-wise, she is the standard height that you expect. Shino right here is actually the pilot of this one right here, the bird. But this is Mark II. The one that has back to the Mark One. This is Mark II, but it's just the same. It's just the same pilot, new model. But I would say they look good together, so it's actually looks really good. But I do need better Mark One though. Bombi is a good comparison because he is a deluxe size. She is actually not that much bigger than him. And Black Suit Spider-Man, which is actually a good size person because she is a 6-inch figure like Spider-Man is. And that says something. And the thing is just a small creature that sits next to her. I'm going to say about it, but problems are always allowed with these characters, but that's my only point with it. I mean, they have not made any more characters from the pilots, which kind of makes a problem because I really wish they made more pilots. Because like there is so much range they could do with this, but since it is a hard plastic, she only be in certain positions to make this work. Because you really want her in so much more positions, not at this one position or certain amounts. Because you want her to sit down, or if you want her to sit, you can't make her sit. Or anything else was the problem. It looks so freaking good, but I mean, I think maybe do a soft goods. Maybe if I could do that, I would do that to upgrade this, but I'll see about that. So I'll get to my final thoughts on this. Now, I think the model is fantastic in so many ways, but the problems is really the front skirt or the big shirt. It's a big shirt, basically. The shirt's a problem because he doesn't have much movement, and I did point that out within the video, within earlier one, that there's not much movement, and there's so many, it's so limited because of the shirts. So that's the only thing I don't like about that, because it's so limiting, because you can't make her sit down anywhere, and the poses that you can do are limited because of the shirts and the fact you can't break apart, and you can't break a part if you're not careful. This does have a problem, but I think it's good as a figure. But I would say, I would say for this thing in conscious, if you want to buy a good model kit that's a woman, there's so many out there. There are other lines out there for you to pick up. And are they more pricier? I mean, it depends where you look. That's a problem. You don't know of where you will look to see if you're going to be spending that type of money, which I kind of get that part. Not everyone can spend $60 on a model kit. And honestly, I kind of see that being a thing too, because not everyone wants to spend that type of money. And I'll be honest here, I wouldn't, but knowing that is me, yeah, I also spend the money. But so hurt to hear that I got to spend 60 70 on a model kit. But it's like, I mean, technically, yeah, it's sitting on Gundam. For some of them, like $100, and you're like, okay, do you want to spend on one model kit, or you want to buy like 4 model kits for like 120, and get your fire at that for just one that's like $100. And they kind of get people want to say, oh well, it's a bigger model kit, a master grade or whatever it is. I kind of see that in as someone who has bought model kits that are pretty expensive in terms of as of money being a little unreasonable sometimes. But I will say, Shino is a fantastic model. And I will say, I mean, I mean, yes, it's very limiting. However, if you're gonna have her on, I want to say like on a shelf or in your room with the stand plugged in, I think it looks fantastic because yes, it is limiting on posing, but it looks really good. And I'm be honest here, I think that's the only reason. And I know a lot of the other monikers like this do have accessories and weapons and extra hands. I will pick one of those up one day. I do want to really give myself a break from the Transformers and Gundam and other robotic figures. I have so many of those in my collection. It's getting a little hard for me to even try to justify how much money I want to spend on this stuff. I'm not joking. It's really hard trying to justify this money, and not in a good way. But what do you think? Would you pick up Shino at any time if you had to? I mean, I'll put it in the description anyway, if you want to buy it. What do you think? So, like and subscribe in Discord, and anything should be in the description below, or for you, if you want to know where I am on social media. So, have a good day, y'all. Peace out.